Yo, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we are going to be covering the idea of what if Aunt May survived in Spider-Man No Way Home. But if you are new around here and enjoy all types of Spider-Man content from the news for the games, shows, and movies, and also fanfiction type content like this, where we take stories and alter them to create different and interesting scenarios, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and also make sure to hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you do not miss another video as soon as it goes out on the channel. And with that being said, let's get straight into the video. What if Aunt May survived Spider-Man No Way Home? Let's start off our story at her death scene. The Green Goblin has revealed himself through Norman, and himself and Peter start fighting. After a brutal fight, as the Goblin holds Spider-Man's head up to see May standing there in a fighting pose ready to take the Goblin, Peter's spidey sense goes off once again. And Peter tells May to duck quickly, and she does, as the Goblin glider swoops over her head rapidly. Norman gets up and jumps onto his glider as he throws pumpkin bombs after pumpkin bombs at May and Peter. With every last bit of strength Peter has, he scoops up May and swings her to safety, as Happy's condo and the apartment complex bursts into flames. Happy arrives on the scene as the Green Goblin escapes into the night, looking for the box that could take him home. Peter and Aunt May are to safety, finally. We cut over to Ned and MJ, who are unaware of the events that have just transpired. Did someone get hurt? They don't know. Once again, MJ and Ned find Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man the same way they did in the actual movie. And the rest from here on out plays pretty much the same as well, as they find Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in the same fashion as they did in the original film. One scene, however, that is severely altered is the scene where all three of them meet for the first time. Instead of Peter going off to grieve on his own, he will actually contact MJ and Ned, and they will both meet up at a neutral location, which will most likely still be above Midtown High on the roof. This scene is a lot happier than before, with May also in this scene as well. May will comment on how weird it is seeing three of her nephews. There will be a nice moment as well where both Toby and Andrew's Peter will acknowledge May. Peter will be debating with himself pushing the button to the box, but won't be as set as he was in the original movie when May died. This will be because May is still alive. Peter believes there is hope, as Aunt May represents that hope within Peter. Both Peters will also push Tom's Peter in the right direction, saying that they're going to cure everyone and send them home, even Norman Osborn. Toby is especially determined on getting Norman cured once and for all. The same events will play out, however, there will be less of a somber atmosphere than there was originally. They will come up with the cures for the villains and then spring into battle. This time, May will accompany Ned and MJ. The final battle commences, and like before, it's intense, with the three Peters having to learn to work together to defeat the three villains of Electro, Sandman, and the Lizard. Ned will get stuck closing the portal, and this will invite the Lizard to chase after them, in which Tom's Peter fends him off. However, this is where the story starts to change. The villains are defeated, and Dr. Stephen Strange finally shows back up to finish what he started, until none other than the Green Goblin swoops in. But this time, he has a bone to pick with Spider-Man. Over the time that the Goblin has been missing, he's been contemplating with himself. The more the insanity of the Goblin takes over, the more the Goblin wants to torment Spider-Man. This overwhelming sensation of wanting death to be brung to Spider-Man consumes the Goblin. When he arrives on the scene, he throws bombs everywhere as he makes his grand entrance, displacing all the Spider-Men and even Doctor Strange, who did not see it coming. Strange loses the box, and the Goblin takes it from him, but at the same time, the Goblin goes after MJ. Tom's Peter jumps after the Goblin on his glider, enraged, and in a desperate attempt to not let the same thing happen twice, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man also leaps after the Goblin as well. Toby rounds up everyone else and makes sure they're safe. Tom once again blows up a pumpkin bomb underneath the Goblin's glider, sending him flying down to the broken Captain America shield. Once they land, the Goblin focuses less on the box containing the spell and holds a knife to MJ's throat, saying he'll do it. We get a monologue from the Goblin stating how Tom's Spider-Man is too weak and how the Goblin will show him what true power really is. He's too interested in tormenting Spider-Man. Tom's Peter says that if you kill her, that he will kill him. And before he knows it, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man webs the Goblin's foot, pulling him from underneath MJ. The Goblin slides across the floor before kicking Andrew in the stomach, sending him flying. This next fight will be intense, as it will be a battle of trying to keep the Goblin from hurting MJ. She'll try and run away, but the Goblin will stop her as the Spider-Men are trying to stop him. but the Goblin is having too much fun. His pure enjoyment for chaos fuels his drive for death. The battle is gruesome. However, it comes to a stalemate. The Goblin is down. Unfortunately, the two Spider-Men are just too much for him. He doesn't have much left, but in a last-ditch effort to torment Spider-Man in typical Goblin fashion, he directs his glider in the direction of MJ. And as the glider was about to pierce her back, none other than Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man jumps in front of the glider, mirroring the end of Spider-Man 1 when he jumped out of the way of the glider. This time, coming to the end of his Spider-Man career, he jumps in front of it to save a life, just the same way that Harry Osborn jumped in front of his glider to save him. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man drops to the floor as Andrew catches him. Tom looks over to the Goblin in disgust as the Goblin laughs maniacally. Tom picks up the Goblin and beats him down again. MJ pulls him away before he could get any worse as they both go over to Tobey, who lies there. The Goblin may be beaten, but they've lost a true hero in the fight. We cut to 3 months later when they're all going off to college. Doctor Strange has been given enough time to fix the situation without breaking anything any further, and everything returns to normal. Peter, MJ, and Ned get into MIT in Boston, and Aunt May is alive and well. Although they lost a great man in the fight, Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker. That is it for the story. Obviously not a lot of changes, but Tobey Maguire is the one that is lost instead of Aunt May. The Goblin's complex character, I feel, would become obsessed with the idea of causing trauma in some way to Tom's Peter, in which would result in the death of Tobey bowing out the same way he made that dramatic flip in Spider-Man 1, moving out of the way of the glider. Although this version ends up killing Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, I don't feel like it has the emotional impact as the original film. Personally, keeping Aunt May alive right from the get-go really hindered the story, but if this were to happen, this is the way I think it could have happened. Like I did say, I do think that the original film was much better and definitely took this story in a better direction since Aunt May died mid-film. But with that being said, if you did enjoy this video, then make sure to hit a like on it, and also if you are new around here and enjoy all types of Spider-Man content, from the news, from the shows, the games, and the movies, then make sure to hit that subscribe button, and make sure to hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button to not miss another video as soon as it gets put out on the channel. And if you are interested in superhero-based clothing designs based off your favorite superheroes like Spider-Man, Batman, and many more, then also make sure to check out I Am Superhero. You can wear clothing to the gym, out and about, or even with your friends. I'll leave a link in the description if you are interested in that. On the left side of the screen, you'll see a video that has been personally chosen for you based off other videos you enjoy, and on the right side of the screen, you'll see my most recent upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, and peace.